And welcome back, everyone, to 4-Digit Mania World Cup. We are back here for the 10th match for this round of 32 match, for this round of 32 stage here. As after, and a really crazy match that happened between Philippines taking on Japan, in which Philippines able to defeat Japan by a score of 5-4. We are now here into this match. Here we have is Netherlands taking on Australia. I I am Porcus Great back here after the previous match, and this time I am here with another person. This is DH Lead 727. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. This is DH Lee. Thank you for the introduction. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to see this match. Obviously, the previous match was a real nail biter. So match also like kind of showed, the qualifier like standings don't really tell the whole story in terms of what the countries are capable of. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I've mentioned that, Japan, especially with their whole roster, did have did have a lot have very little to none tournament experience, and boy, if this is like their first exposure to um their actual major tournaments, then we can only expect like surprising things coming from Japan as the tournament progresses. But regardless, here we have as our next match a really interesting match filled with both teams that both have MWC players that competed in MWC. On the Netherlands side, you have Too Fast and Samuel H. Klumpers, two players that competed in 4K MWC last year. Too Fast, formerly known as Too Fast for You 98, who was the team captain of that Netherlands team, and now the team captain again. You also have some notable players that have participated from various tournaments. Free K, a player I have seen in some tournaments. Some newcomers in Tyronix Fanboy I'm ready perfectly, unless they competed under a different username, in which I may or may not know about. And obviously, if those of you who are pretty familiar with the tournament scene, you may recognize Semitsu, the host of Violent Mania Tournament 1 and Violent Mania Tournament Murasaki no Taiketsu. Really a rare scenario where we see a tournament host being good enough to be on the Netherlands team. But over on the other side, even though Netherlands have two MWC players that competed that are in 4DM, Australia has three with Potassium F, a Masu, and Fluffy GMD from the MWC team last year, now onto the 4DM roster for this year. You have Deku, Orkados, and Beat Saber is good, completing the roster. And let me just say, two teams with MWC experience facing off each other. This is going to be one really interesting match, to say the least.
Right. Yeah, tournament experience definitely comes into play, especially when you're talking about like handling your nerves. I don't necessarily, can't really predict how this is gonna go, but if Australia really, holds themselves together and really pressures Netherlands, you know, in doing so, I think the experience might come into play, as you've mentioned, because Australia has one more player that has participated in the Mania World Cup scene. So just a little bit more in terms of experience, but obviously we can't count Netherlands out, as we can see by their qualifier results and how they have performed in previous editions.
Yeah, and I mean, Too Fast for You 98 is a player who I actually personally played against in Tournament 3.0 plus 1.0. Obviously, so I can definitely say from experience what Too Fast Samuel H. Clumpers can definitely provide to the Netherlands. I mean, they are the number 7 seeded team for a reason, and especially when you have like teams that have like the main anchors, um, especially that are on a different level compared to like some of the best that this tournament has to offer. They are really truly like they are truly the reasons why they can be seen. Um, they could really make their country stand out to be as like a huge threat to provide such major runs in for a tournament. You know.
Right. I've said this, I believe, last year when I was commentating as well. One thing that's really scary about the Netherlands team is they always have such a balanced roster, in the sense where, they may no they may not have someone that's like absolutely elite in terms of like they'll be like top 3 in like the overall individual rankings or something like that. But if you see their team score, they will be really consistent in all skill sets. So in tournament setups like this, where you're really trying to exploit the other team's weakness, it's really hard to try and use that tactic against the Netherlands because of how well balanced they are.
Yep. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see both teams with very different strengths of skill sets that are going to be standouts for how they could definitely strategize to win maps over one another. But it's going to be interesting to see, this will be the first time that I will get to see a top 8 team, like a team like Netherlands, to participate, and definitely is a team that I will definitely keep in mind as like the tournament progresses as well.
What is this map, by the way?
I mean, we are getting if this is like warm ups. All I will say, or all I could get, I mean, I could guess that if I had to guess, it has to be SB or something. I could be 100% wrong, however.
We'll see. Yeah. Just before we get started with the warm ups, I just want to say, with the Australia team, like I personally don't have a lot of information regarding like their individual, I guess, statistics. But just looking at the stats for like the qualifier results, like they were really well balanced as well. Like maybe not in like very I guess one digit standings like Netherlands has showed, but the way they have like really composed themselves throughout the qualifiers to have a very stabilized like rank range, that also shows that they can really exploit whichever skill set that they choose to go for. I don't know if Netherlands is gonna show any weakness in that sense, but it just gives them like that much more flexibility in trying to like choose what skill set they want to try and go for.
Yeah, I can definitely say I could definitely agree on that. Obviously, this is again, yeah. So far, throughout this whole tournament, most of the matches have finished in either sweeps, 5-1 or 5-2. The previous match, as I will mention again, was the first time I went into tiebreaker, and if you were to ask, anyone who did see that match how it went, it was pretty crazy. Both teams for Philippines and Japan looked super strong throughout the whole match. And even though there were a lot of really big breaks coming from Japan's side, this can't I cannot. I mean, it was a match that even now I still have like no idea. How did that match even went all the way into tiebreaker? It was really insane to say the least.
Yeah, we had that one map. I can't remember the map name, but I think Philippines had a triple double S and they
Yeah, it
lost
was
the map.
Rice 2. It was Rice
Ah,
2.
okay.
Rice 2, Philippines had all of their players with V1 double S's, yet they still lost by under 600 points because um, Japan's 300 count was significantly lower than the Philippines, which was really, really insane.
Wow. Yeah, well, okay, so our first warm up is done. I believe this is the second one. I don't know which was picked by which country, but yeah. How long is it? 3 minutes.
24
5
seconds
stars.
long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, yep, this is going to be the Netherlands warm up right here. Map made by Danny PX, another very well known tournament host. It's just really interesting again having Semitsu, um, host of like a very well known Mania tournament now, be in this tournament, and you'll have like maps being made by prominent staffers in the communities as well, which is really, really interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I think it also kind of, I guess, kind of works to their advantage. Like when they have like really good abilities in actually playing, that kind of helps them like organize tournaments or like actually like map some like you know just map some like songs because they know like what kind of like skill sets they can like uh kind of like go for in terms of like the map concept and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely with that. I can agree with that. It's really just interesting. Especially with what types of maps there. Each mapper will visualize to create their own unique maps that gives them like a identity, which I always find it very impressive and also very admirable, and something that really makes them stand out from like the rest of like noticeable staffers.
Yeah, I mean they really help. I mean they're a really big help to the community as well. 'Cause, hosting tournaments, getting everyone back together. Like, even people like me, like who really haven't been too involved in actually like playing Mania anymore, but like I'm still able to be like a part of this community, like even like through this like commentating opportunities like this. So it's great. Like there's always massive appreciation to all the tournament hosts and like organizers. It's really good to see like the Osumania community like coming together like this. It's just a really like festival kind of a feel.
Yeah, and especially with like a lot of tournaments in different modes that also do have like different World Cup iterations, especially for rank restricted tournaments. Like for especially for standard, you have for 4WC, 5WC, and for Taiko, don't need to mention with like GTS as well, IGTS, EGTS, AGTS. I mean, it's real, yeah, especially for like these opportunities where you get to play with teammates from the same country that you are in, or you were born, or currently in, or currently affiliated with right now. It's just it's something about these tournaments that no other tournament cannot offer, and that's and it's something rare that it's something rare that is being seen these days. Is representing your country in a big stage like this. So that's just going to be it for the warm ups. As now we will get into the roles. So our referee, or once we will get the IRC chat back, um, we will get the referee to let the players know that, hey, we need to do roles. And okay, the IRC chat is back. Now we do roles, and too fast. with the 91, and that's going to be good enough to win, to give the win over to the Netherlands. So they will have the first pick and second ban. And Australia will have the second protect and the first ban. Netherlands will get the first pick, and Australia will follow up.
Oh, I thought Netherlands gets the protect first. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Netherlands get the protect first, but they will ban second.
Oh,
Australia
okay, yeah,
will
that's
protect
true.
second, but they will ban first, and whoever wins rolls will get first pick.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to protect Rice for pretty interesting choice. Definitely the one with the streams and that really big trill as well.
For the most part, it's a ratio battle, so I'm interested to see how they perform in that.
Wait, oh, I'm sorry. So Australia will protect Rice for Time Traveler. That's LNG. Netherlands will protect it. Okay.
Right? Yes.
Okay. I almost did not read. I sometimes it's really confusing that whenever they actually say the title, I'm just like, what's time travel? What's time traveler? Oh, LNG. I get it now. And for the second match in a row, Free is going to be banned. LN2 is going to be banned for the second straight match. And Heavenly Spores, Rice 2 is going to be banned. So, protects are as follows. LN3 is going to be protected for Netherlands, and Rice 4 will be protected for Australia. Rice 2 is going to be banned by Netherlands, and LN2 is going to be banned by Australia. So, other than that, that is it for the bans and protects. We are going into the first map of this round of 32 match. Netherlands is now up. Super Harguro is going to be the first map being picked for the Netherlands. Hybrid 2 is going to be the pick.
Right. Netherlands definitely showing confidence in like their LN abilities. I think Australia kind of thought of that as well when they decided to ban LN2. Hybrid 2, this map, kind of has some LN finesse required as well, so I think Netherlands were confident in picking this against Australia, but we'll see what happens. Ideally, they would want to take their first pick, but you never know what happens, but we'll see.
Yep. Right now, we are seeing the rosters almost being set up. For Australia, you have Deku, Potassium F, and Aimasu coming in for Australia. Meanwhile, for the Netherlands, they are still trying to decide who will be their third player entering into the third player slot. Well, you have Too Fast and Ready perfectly, and now Free K as that just now showed up on the screen. So it looks like that will be the lineup for Hybrid 2. Potassium F. I believe I could be mistaken, but Potassium F is Potassium F, the team captain. Both team captains are going to be in for their respective places right here. So, just in case if you guys do need a reminder, it was Netherlands and Australia that both lost in the losers quarterfinals in last year's MWC. So it's really interesting to see two teams, that have both two countries that have both end up coming up short in the same week. Now going to face off in the opening round of 4DM. And it's going to be interesting to see how well these two teams will do. And so far, it's just been pretty close. And oh my goodness, what is it? Is Potassium F playing with like?
Yeah, he's playing with flashlights.
Okay then. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever works for Potassium F. I mean, it's working out pretty well for Potassium. And okay, I've received word that he's a flashlight mate. So that's really interesting knowing that. It's really interesting because I definitely didn't know that there are some players who definitely play a lot better playing with a certain mod instead of just playing it regularly. And right now, however, it's really just Netherlands with the accuracy advantage in their favor right here. Deku and Potassium F trying to do whatever they can to catch up. I mean, they're not too far behind right now. They're still into striking distance, but they're gonna have to really improve on their accuracy to try to get as much closer as they could.
Yeah, Too Fast's act is comparable to Imasu's, and Samuel and Reddy's act is slightly ahead of Potassium F and Deku's. Deku's slightly falling behind at 99.5%, but like you said, the difference isn't too big, but we are getting towards the end of the map, and I just don't think Australia has enough time at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Australia just doesn't really have enough time to really catch up as that's going to be it. Too Fast with the V1SS. Really impressive with a 995k. Samuel H. Clumpers with a 993k as well. Definitely some really good scores coming from all 6 players in the lobby. All of them with the FCs, however.
Yeah, I mean, this the difference wasn't that big, to be honest. Like one slip up could have just, you know, given the match to Australia. I think, yeah, I think Australia's game tactics should be just, trying to be consistent and hoping to see a Netherlands slip up and capitalize on it. I'm interested to see what they would pick first. I believe they're gonna try and focus on like Rice. Right, so they're going straight for their protect. Rice 4.
Oh yeah, Australia's going with their protect. Harlequin by Gentle. This is the stream oriented map. Which also has like a huge trill before the final Ki. Okay, so we're just waiting until the map being alrighty, it's now up now. So Harley Quinn, those who do play Mania are pretty familiar with the remix. I remembered like someone had mentioned in the showcase that if you have played those who do play have heard of this song can definitely have some PTSD playing the ranked remix.
Oh yes, I definitely have that.
Yeah, I have. You can ask me how many attempts I have tried to play on that map, pretty much. But regardless, some notable changes. You do have Potassium F is actually not here, and I believe Imas is the only player from Australia that is still in. Samuel H. Clumpers is going to come in for the Netherlands. Beat Saber is good, and Arcanos is going to come in for Australia. Here we go with the slow space jump streams here. And it's Australia with the early lead right now. No signs of flickering just yet. And oh yeah, I forgot that this map has some jack patterns in there as well. But even though there is like the single key jack right there, I do think that but you'll see the jack patterns having a bigger presence towards like the second half, however.
Yeah, the scores are really close right now. 99.85 being the lowest act in the lobby right
Oh,
now.
I
Oh, as
lost
I
it
say
with the
that there's a
break.
drop.
Oh, that's but
Oh,
Tyrox with the break back. This is going to be interesting, and now the lead is starting to flicker. However, Aimasu has the combo advantage over Tyronic, so assuming if Aimasu can get his combo back up to 400, that's going to give Australia a slight lead right there.
right, and I believe yes, and Tyronic's tanked accuracy just a bit more than Aimasu did, so that's gonna come into play as well. Okay, as we come to the stairs, I think both teams are holding on quite well.
Yep,
And yes,
and
as you
now
said, Australia is gonna take the lead now.
here we go with the trills. And oh my goodness, I'm seeing some act drops coming from Samuel H. Clumpers, as well as another player from Australia. But you know, especially with those trills, you cannot really tell. You can only just see numbers either going rainbow or 300s.
Right, but Aimasu recovered quite well from that drop, coming back up to 99.7, and I believe that's giving Australia that slight lead right now as we come towards the final stretch.
And that's just going to be it. Yeah, okay, well, they cannot afford to take a break, but yep, that's just going to be it. Australia will take their first point after being down after starting off losing their first map. Two players from Australia with V1SS's and Orcanos and Beat Saber is good. Two newcomers from the Australian 4DM team.
So
Yeah,
one miss each from both sides, and yeah, as I said, Aimasu just had that slight bit of advantage even despite the drop, and that's basically what we see from the score differences. Too Fast and Samuel also played really well with 992s. But yeah, both teams taking their first picks respectively. I wonder if Netherlands is going to stick with their tactic of, going with the long notes.
yeah, that may ask the questions with if Netherlands could go with long nuts, but knowing I do see like Too Fast and Samuel H. Clumpers, they are both really well skilled in Rice as well. So I could definitely see Netherlands trying to go for Rice as well if they could. It just seems like SV. Maybe I could be wrong. That might be the wild card, and they're going to go with LN1.
I think I somehow feel that they're gonna try and keep the SVs for later and go with their go with the skill set that they know that they feel they have an advantage over at least. Um, you know, second pick LN1, and they still haven't picked their protect, so they're definitely saving that later for when the time is a little bit more critical, I think.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be worth it only if they win this set. Only if they win this map, rather.
So here we have is Free K Too Fast ready perfectly coming from the Netherlands. Aimasu will stay in for the third map. I believe Too Fast is also staying for the third map. Deku and Potassium F is going to come back in for Australia. So LM1, that's the release-oriented map for this LN map here. OD of 7.5, so timing is going to be a slightly bit easier and more comfortable for these players to hit. You can hit the notes slightly earlier, later, and it won't really hurt your accuracy that much.
Yeah, but don't be fooled by that 2.74 star rating because this map can get quite tricky in terms of getting your act right.
Oh yeah, and especially with like some of the release parts as we're starting to see here. Definitely a key factor to keep in mind as these players are going to play LN1 right now. And you can also see the different playstyles as well. Like we already know that Potassium F is playing with Flashlight, but he's also playing with a very low scroll speed as well, which is really interesting and something I actually would prefer because I could see the notes a lot more easier instead of if it goes like in a fast pace. Even if I do play Mania with like a scroll speed of 26, however.
Yeah, I mean, flashlight players generally tend to have lower scroll speeds because of how small the window is when the notes are visible. So
Yeah.
I am, quite used to seeing that. But what I am kind of surprised though is that I'm seeing like
Oh,
3K dropping a 200 there. Oh, but Deku just dropped, so
yeah,
that's a
Deku
big
was
hit.
holding a lot of 200s. I think I just saw him hit a 100 as well. Deku is just struggling to find consistency. But however, everybody else is doing pretty good so far. Too fast with a 99.9% accuracy right now, which is
Oh,
really
there's another
impressive.
drop.
Yeah, so far Netherlands, all of their entire team holds the top three accuracies in the lobby. It's just that Potassium F is currently is the highest for Australia, but has the fourth highest accuracy. And man, nothing good is coming for Deku.
Yeah, he is not having a good time. um, yeah, it's definitely struggling with these release oriented patterns. Dropping a lot of 200s as well as a few drops. Yeah, and Netherlands. It looks like they're going to comfortably take this pick.
Yeah, that yeah, Netherlands is looking pretty comfortable right up in their alley, and this is not even their protect map, so that's something that Australia is going to have to keep in mind because I know Netherlands are going to go with their protect, and as everyone from Netherlands will take the FCs, that's just going to be it. So Netherlands will take the second point of this match.
5 200s across the whole team on this kind of map where maintaining your act is so difficult is really impressive. I can see why they were confident in going with this as their second pick.
Yep. So right now we are seeing Australia trying to decide which map they could go next to. They could pick which map they could pick next. I could definitely see Australia. Definitely, if they do feel pretty comfortable with Rice 4, so I could definitely see them go back to. I could see what would be a good Rice map. I think, considering that Rice 3 is Tech Stamina and Rice 5 is Tech, Fire in the Sky. Oh, they're gonna go with Tech Stamina. Fire in the Sky will be the next map.
What's your thoughts on this pick?
Mm, it's a really interesting map. I've mentioned this in the previous match against for Japan versus Philippines. I mean, when you think of stamina maps, you think of like a lot of jump streams or continuous jump um, streams, and sometimes like fast jacks are like a really high BPM. But tech stamina, that's like almost really unheard of, and something you rarely see in like media tournaments. As far as me being a part of this game for like a year now. So definitely an interesting, choice and definitely an interesting map as well. There are some streams, but there's a lot of like techie patterns that these players are gonna have to go through as the map is, 3 minutes and 21 seconds long. Um, there's a lot of grace notes or frubs that is going to be implemented that is featured in this map. So definitely, Australia and Netherlands gonna have to keep that in mind as they will be playing Race 3. Samuel H. Clubbers, Too Fast, Tyronix, Fanboy. Well, be coming in for the Netherlands. I believe this is Too Fast's fourth straight map. Imasu's also staying for his fourth straight map. Orkano said Deku is going to help represent for Australia. Deku looking to rebound after a pretty underwhelming performance with LM1. I know this is something that even Deku himself would not be very happy, and this is something that he would love to rebound to help give Australia the second point of this match.
Yeah, and so tech stamina, really touches more on maintaining your, focus, as opposed to really working on like, physical stamina. I think it's more on like the mental side of things. So I think both teams, they should focus on, keeping their cool, I guess, because the map's long. If you just work yourself a little too much at the beginning trying to maintain act, then you will definitely feel the fatigue towards the end of the map. I'm sure they had a lot of practice on this, but we'll see if they can handle this until the end of such a long map. Oh, and as I was saying that, there's a drop.
Orkano's with the first break. That doesn't spell great news if you're Australia, but if you're from the Netherlands, definitely a huge advantage. Especially that they do have an opportunity, but Tyronics will find a break back, but Imasu will trade it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a long map. These might not be the only breaks that come in this map, so we can't really say anything for sure. Obviously, Netherlands with that lead right now, but if Australia holds on and Netherlands experience a couple more misses, that can definitely swing back.
Yeah, definitely not good news for Australia right now. But however, they're still not too far behind, so there's still an opportunity for Australia to be able to catch up last minute. But that's only assuming if there's going to be a significant act drop from the Netherlands, or if there's going to be a break coming from the red side as well. But after the break, Tyronics is looking to be pretty comfortable as well right now, as well as Arcanos and I'm Masu right now. But you can definitely, I mean, I feel bad for Deku because he's just his performance. He's just been he has officially rebounded, but however, it's his teammates that really just really allowed the lead to be given to the Netherlands. But Too Fast and Samuel H. Clumbers, what more can you say about them with their experience really just paying off in this Rice Stream map?
Yeah, holding on really well. Too Fast with the 99.85, 86 now, maintaining around that range. Yeah, like I said, Deku definitely rebounding well from that previous performance. Unfortunately, that's not enough to swing the tide in Australia's favor, as it looks like as we approach towards the end of this map, Netherlands is going to take their third point, to take the match 3-1.
Yeah, and it's likely that, well, now the map has ended. It's going to be the Netherlands' first break point, as the Netherlands will take this one to extend their lead up 3-1. It's going to be really difficult for Australia to really try to catch up to the Netherlands, especially since they still have their protect being as a factor for the Netherlands to really use use it to their advantage.
Yeah, this is, I feel, a really good time for Netherlands to use their protect pick, and to take this match to match point if they could take this next map. Oh wow, that
Yeah,
was Deku's PB apparently.
yeah, especially in a tournament like this, especially when you're dealing with nerves. Sometimes people can definitely thrive with nerves, especially with just happened with Deku. But sometimes nerves can break you, just like what happened with Australia. Well, the other teammates of Australia and I'm Masu,
So we
and
see
as well as
SV picked
Ironics.
by Netherlands. Sorry, interesting.
Huh,
They're still saving their protect.
that's interesting, to say the least. Alrighty, we're going to SV2. That's just, I mean, it's just a memory-oriented SV map. At least I assume it's a memory map. You have to like time like those jack patterns really well if you want to have like the max judgment, which as a non SV main, I am not good at SV at all. And even if you like get me to play SV, there's a good chance I will suck at SV. I personally despise SV, which is why I have such a huge amount of respect for those who can play SV, which is insane to say the least.
Yeah, I actually tried playing this map. I guess getting getting to a point where I can consistently full combo was fine. I had a lot of trouble like trying to maintain ratio and like the overall accuracy though. So
Yeah.
this map, even though this is like the first SV map that's being introduced, like so this is expected to be one of the easiest SV maps throughout this tournament. This wasn't necessarily given for granted. Wait a second. Did Freak drop like the first note or something?
I don't know. I think that could be a client thing. I'm not sure. But interestingly, we are seeing Seimitsu coming in for for the Netherlands, as well as Free K ready perfectly. Oh wait, there's Netherlands with a full team switch. As yeah, Samuel H. Clumpers, Too Fast, and Tyronics have to switch out for the other three players that are coming in. I could also see why they decided to go with SB2. But however, Potassium F, Aimasu, and Deku looking to rebound after losing the last two maps. And so far they're looking to be pretty decent. And now here's that timing that I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't think it was client. I think 3K actually missed in the intro, and that's giving the Australia that slight lead they have right now. Because as you see, Seimitsu holding 99.79, so they're having like the highest act in the lobby. But Australia, it looks like they're having close to. Oh, it's flickering though.
No,
They're having a small lead.
Yes. 3K did break at the beginning, but you have to keep in mind, breaking at the beginning, there's a significant difference from breaking at the beginning and breaking after you have achieved the max combo mark of 400. It will not hurt Netherlands too much as they're still into striking distance of catching up into Australia. So
Yeah.
it doesn't really hurt Netherlands that much since Free K, was able to catch up just 10 notes after. But however, especially with how close it was, that could be the difference as to why Australia could narrowly take away
Ooh,
from
Aimato
it.
with some early hits there, kind of hurt their ratio. But I don't know. I think this lead is big enough that if Australia maintains the three-way full combo, I think they take this map.
I don't know. There's still the ending. And that's just going to be it. It's going to be Australia taking this one by exactly 4,016
Four
points.
misses.
Oh man, yeah, that's gotta suck for Free K. But my goodness, I need to mention Potassium's F's ratio 129 300s with only two 200s. That's impressive. And with flashlight too as
Yeah,
well.
that's an incredible
Potassium.
score.
Potassium is built different, as you know. I do see players, flashlight players, before, but I've only seen them play with like high scroll speeds. Potassium F is the first time I've seen someone with like a low scroll speed playing flashlight, so that's really interesting. And because of this, Australia is still is very much alive still. And but I argued that, they really need to pick a map that they certainly can do very well, but also do enough to make sure they can beat Netherlands. Because I'm pretty sure if Netherlands take this another break point, they're going with LN3. LN3 is something that the Netherlands will play no matter what, so this pick is entirely on Australia to decide which map they feel confident in providing their best efforts.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be too comfortable with picking the other SV map, seeing that if not for the mistake by 3K earlier in the map, Netherlands would have taken the map in terms of like ratio and like the number of 200 that I saw. So I don't think they're gonna be too comfortable with picking SV. I just think they're gonna go with Rice is my guess, and they have
Oh, Rice 5.
undiscovered
So
colors.
we're going. Okay, okay, I don't like this. I honestly do not really like this pick. They're going back into tech, although it is a bit shorter. I mean, considering what did happen in Rice 3, I'm not sure if I really like this one. But only time will tell. But definitely, Australia probably would want to pick that map because not only do they probably feel confident, but they also have revenge on their mind after two players that broke with on Rice 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, Australia almost definitely has to take this pick to have a chance because I believe, like you said, if Netherlands were to take breakpoint here and get it to match point, they're gonna pick their protect, and they're gonna have such a huge advantage going into the final match. So Australia really needs to take this map.
Yeah, this is really. I mean, I don't want to sound like very pessimistic or being super harsh, but that's how honest I could honestly get. And I'm pretty sure Australia is also aware of it too. They are definitely both teams are definitely keep thinking of the LNG Protect in mind, and Australia knows that this is perhaps their pretty much their last real opportunity to be able to take a sneak in a point before Netherlands will go with LNG. So the referee has already started the map. Too fast. Tyronic's fanboy and Samuel H. Clumbers will come in for Netherlands. So another team reset from back to back now. Orcado's Potassium F and Aimasu will be coming in for Australia. This is Aimasu's sixth straight map in this match. And so here we go. We can just see those those rubs already coming in straight up with some really close jack notes, a few centimeters apart up from each other. Orcanos will find a break, but Orcanos did break pretty somewhat early. So this is going to give. So I wouldn't count out Australia just yet. However.
Yeah, I mean, neither team has reached the 400 cap yet, so that might not has hurt as much. And also, we have to realize that Tyronics kind of had a rough start. Even though they're maintaining their full combo still, their act is in the 99.5 range.
Yeah, that's right. But even though Arcanos did recover, I mean, the question in mind is that would Netherlands probably trade back, and I believe if that's whoever will take the next break, that is going to be very catastrophic. It's gonna have to hope that people are gonna have to hope that they want a tiebreaker. They're just gonna have to hope that Australia can FC the rest of the way, and just hope that a miracle happens for Australia to be able to sneak in a last minute come from behind victory for this map. But we're just about a quarter of the map in. I just don't know if it's going to happen. However,
Yeah, the acts on the two sides are really comparable. I guess Potassium F slightly lower, 99.5, but Too Fast is in like the high 99.5s as well. So I think it's just that one miss that's making the difference in the scores right now. So yeah, like you said, if Netherlands had dropped, then it might have given a different story. But as it is, Netherlands with the three-way full combo, they are going to go to match point.
yep, really interesting performances for this map. Yeah, another break point for Netherlands, and that was a crucial break point that the Netherlands needed. Now, there is no. I'm going to be genuinely surprised if they will pick a map other than LNG. I like this. Like I don't. I don't know if they do decide and if they end up losing the next map that isn't LNG. I'm going to be genuinely shocked.
I mean, there's
Alrighty,
no
so.
point because this is their last pick, so they kind of have to pick this now.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna go with LNG, their protect, so hey, it works out for Netherlands, and now this is going to mean that Australia is definitely entering into the Netherlands momentum, as Netherlands definitely have the hot hand right now, taking the last 3 out of 4 points right now.
Yeah, so we have established throughout this match the LN is definitely in Netherlands' comfort zone, but you never know because some slip ups, like one or two misses, is really just going to be the difference in most of these early stage matchups. So Netherlands still has to kind of maintain their focus and try not make any mistakes. Australia, on the other hand, obviously the underdog in this map in particular, but they're just gonna have to, keep their combo, keep their composure, and just hope for a any mistake that they can capitalize on.
Yep, that's right. Deku, Potassium F, and iMonster will come in for Australia. Too Fast, ready perfectly. We'll switch out with Hyrotics for the Netherlands. Samuel H. Clippers and Too Fast will stay in for the Netherlands. So we're just waiting. Oh, the referee will already put the MP start 5. So here we go. This is a 3-minute, 5-second map. And yeah, this is going to be a really interesting map to see if France, no, if Australia can somehow in some way be able to manage to beat the Netherlands on their own protect pick. And here we go with the first key eye right here. So far, it's just the Netherlands looking pretty comfortable right now. But the lead is slightly flickering, so I wouldn't count out Australia just yet, however.
Yeah, Potassium F with some early struggles. I saw a 200 there as well in the 99.5. Netherlands with two players in the 99.8 range. They're holding really solid, but yeah, really early in the map. Aimasu also 99.889% even. Really holding well.
Yep. So, right now it's. I mean, I'm just really surprised that Australia is doing pretty good right now. Even if, like, they are still behind. I mean, maybe Australia could actually pull it off and take a break point from the Netherlands protect pick.
Yeah, I mean their strategy has to be hold three-way FC and hope for any mistakes because that's all they can do at this point.
Or mistakes, um, or mistakes in favor of the opposing team and not themselves.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the act difference isn't that high at this point in time. I'm seeing Ready Perfectly in the 99.6 range, which is comparable to Deku's. So yeah, it's just the difference between Samuel H. Comforts and Potassium F, which is about a 0.2%. And like I said, that can definitely be overcome by like a drop. So Netherlands has to hold on. Australia just has to keep their composure and keep waiting. The match is still really close. The score difference, as I see it right now, is less than 10,000, I believe. So both teams still in it.
I think it's really just that Australia's just gonna have to hope that Too Fast or Samuel H. Clovis will just break right now. Otherwise, it's just not going to be enough time for Australia to catch up. Um, Netherlands, I mean, both teams have been doing pretty good, but it's just Netherlands that are just on a different level when it terms on hitting for for the maxes more consistently. And as it stands, it just might be it. It's just going to be done when it's all said and done. As your winner of this match, and moving on to the winners round of 16, it's going to be Team Netherlands by the score of 5-2.
Well, I'm actually honestly quite surprised that the score difference was so low. It was like 5,000 points or something. So even though this was a Netherlands protect pick, Australia did extremely well in considering that they showed some struggles in the earlier LN maps. It's a really good performance by both teams. You know, unfortunate for the Australian team moving into the losers brackets, hoping that they can, have a good run there. And yeah, Netherlands gonna stay in the winners bracket. So congratulations to the Netherlands team.
Yep, so the Netherlands team will be able to take this one as they will defeat Australia by the score of 5-2. The Netherlands will be moving on to the winners round of 16 where they will be taking on Peru. A really interesting match. Peru, I believe were top 3 finishers last tournament if I'm not mistaken. Or I could be 100% wrong. Uh, yeah, you could. Someone could just ask me did if they did finish in top 3. I could have sworn they did last year, but I could be wrong. So Netherlands will be taking on Peru, and Argentina will be taking on Australia. So that is going to be 2 interesting matches to watch out for as round of 16 is slowly closing in. And yeah, and you can just see the rest of the schedules here. No matches will happen until for another 3 hours. But other than that, DH Lee, do you have anything? Do you want to say anything before we will leave?
This was a surprisingly close matchup. I think, with a 1 or 2 mistakes, this really could have gone either way. So I think that shows Australia definitely has some power left in the tank. I hope they really have a good losers bracket run. Netherlands will be facing Peru, like you said, and that's going to be an interesting matchup as well. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, and we have like a string of matches coming, like starting from the Thailand versus Chile match. So yeah, everyone, yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned in for those matches. I'll also, not be, commentating, but I'll also definitely be watching those matches.
Yep, and I just want to say thank you to Narumi for streaming again as usual. Thank you to the Hunter One, for refing as well. Please give your thanks to those guys. They for helping out with this match in general. Yep. That will be it for the stream. We will see you guys back for Thailand versus Chile in about 3 hours from now. So see you guys later.